All right, we are live.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone. Without further delay, you guys all know the familiar face, the King of Adelaide, who took out the six-time best wedding photographer of Australia. The very, very key, the very, very Key Lu, great friends of mine. The crazy rich Asian wedding photographers. Yeah, no, that's key. And one times best wedding photographer of Australia, right? It's the title I always want. I never got it, but but you got it. That's fine. And he got Key Lu actually got the best wedding photographer of Australia. He got the title I want, and he also got the clientels I want too. I desire it. Like I only have that clientele like a couple of times in my dream, really.
Whatever.
He has the richer, I guess, Italian, Greek, and Lebanese community, which is known as big fat wedding, which is great, right? Lots of people and lots of luxury car, crazy dance, best music, and best food. I just can't emphasize enough. So so he has this beautiful images he's going to share with you guys. So stay tuned, and I'll leave that to Key Lu, right?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Everyone can see my screen. Just bear me for a sec. So everyone can see my slide? Everyone can see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slide. Let me just put it on there.
Perfect.
Hi, BJ. Hi, Gordon. Hi, Julio. Oh, Key, you have lots of fans. I'm just gonna sit back and relax. That's the crazy clientele I talked about. All his bride is just so beautiful and super hot. His grooms are all like I don't know, God of War in Greek, in Greece. Yeah,
man. So just a quick introduction about myself, guys. My name is Key Lu. Key pronounced Key. Key. I've been in the wedding industry for 9 years now, and doing wedding photography is really my number one passion. That's what I love the most. I just love the energy, love the happiness, love the celebration. But above all, I love the things that you can't predict on a wedding day. The stress is all part of the fun of being a wedding photographer. In the last 5 years, I've been very fortunate to also do quite a few commercial and family photos as well. And I'm actually very blessed that I'm able to have that as a second income for the studio, because especially in time like now where we have COVID-19, pretty much most of my wedding has all been postponed. So personally myself, I haven't done a wedding since March this year. My business Be Captured, we've shot quite a few weddings since COVID, but personally I haven't been really shooting much. I've just been using this time to relax a bit, because I haven't really had a break for so long. So I'm just using this opportunity to take a break. And luckily our company, we have a lot of commercial and family photos that can keep us going during this crazy time. So that's just a little bit of my background, but let's get into our main topic for today, which is what I feel are simple lighting techniques that will wow your client. I'm guilty as this as well. When I first started as a wedding photographer, I feel like you always have to have all the gears, all the lens, all the cameras in your bag. You tend to overcomplicate things a bit. And through experience, I learned, it's best to have the it's best to keep your equipment to a low level and concentrate on what's more important, which is in the case your subject. Sometimes when you got too much lens to choose from or too much camera to choose from, that can really blur your judgment and your creativity on the day of a wedding shoot. Later on, I'm going to go through all the equipment I use on a wedding day, and also on some special project as well. So
hi guys, we wouldn't say hi to everyone, but all the questions are welcome, and he would love to answer all of your questions. Yeah. Go on.
So my best advice is to keep things simple and really concentrate on the day of doing a wedding shoot. Really concentrate on the subject, creating the mood, and creating that wonderful image where the couple will enjoy for the rest of their life. So for example, with this first image here, with the brides standing in her home, this was just using the one V1 and a 2470, and the V1 was just put on top of my camera and bounce off the roof of the ceiling to create this nice, simple, clean look, and which is what I really like. Let's go to the next slide. So here I want to talk to you about the different style that I enjoy doing for my wedding photography. A lot of people tend to ask me, "Oh, Key, what do you think your wedding style is like? Your photos like?" I tend to be a bit greedy. I like a bit of everything, and I'm able to do this when I discovered using flash, because using flash can let me achieve a lot of different style, which will satisfy a variety of different clientele. For example, with this first one here, this is what I call a clean style, and I would recommend something like this to my couple when I know their weddings are more everything is white, everything is very Vogue looking, everything is very crisp and clean. And to achieve this look, you really need to use a lot of flash to really get rid of a lot of shadow from your photos. However, when you are very good at using your flash and know how the flash works, you can also create another different style, which is what I call dramatic, which is totally opposite style.
Before Key, sorry to interrupt. Before we go to the dramatic, do you want the enlarge on the clean a bit so people would be able to see it more details? Yeah, I think on my side it's a bit smaller.
How about like that?
That looks great. That looks great.
So this is what I call the clean style, and then again, this is achieved through using a lot of flash. Another style that I like doing is what I call dramatic. And again, if you just rely solely on...
If I may interrupt, but can you address two questions here?
Sure.
Which I can't. How many lights? Can you see the question on the screen?
No, because I'm in full screen.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Yep. How many lights on a wedding? Yeah. I will quickly address that. I'll go to my equipment page. Okay. So this is the.
We will address that later. That's fine. I don't want to.
I'll address it later. I'll get back to that question.
Yeah. And do they usually decide the subjects, be the couple or people all together?
All together. Normally at my consultation with the couple, which is around 2 months before the wedding day. This is what I'll go through with them. I'll ask them, so what's your style of your wedding? A lot of them will say, oh, it's very clean, very black and white, or some will say it's very rustic, very earthy. Then I would recommend, maybe you should have your style this way or this way. So, and that's the main reason why people want to come to my company, Be Captured, is because, they don't have to have the one style. They can have, they can have a bit of everything if they want to, which I'm totally in favor of doing that. So get back to the slide. Using flash allow me to go clean, or I can go dramatic. And if you just rely on natural light, it's really hard to achieve this kind of look. So for example, if you look at the groom looking out the window on the top right hand corner. I have an assistant using Godox V1, triggering it on the window, bouncing, directing the light on the green to create this really dramatic type look. Just an example that you can do. Now, there's some couple that want to come to me, and if their wedding is in a winery, it's very rustic,
So sorry, let me quickly interrupt, Key. Every time you change the slides, I would ask questions
Okay.
for our audiences. It says, we're discussing how you achieve clean looks and dramatic looks. We give a general indication, right? We wouldn't discuss it in details, but we will discuss the look of 1960, right? We will give a bit deep. We will focus on one look today, right? Rather than showing people 10 different things.
That's right. And I can touch a bit more on the clean look and the dramatic look when I go through more of the individual photo, wedding photos that I'm going to go through later as well. Yeah. So we'll be able to do that.
But the main focus will be 1960 first, right?
Yes.
And here's another question. Say, do you use lights indoor?
I love using light indoor. Even if it's a bright room, I still like using light indoor because when you use flash, it makes editing so much easier. And I can go back to my, after doing the wedding, I can go back to the studio, and then I can go, oh, you know what? I all of a sudden I want to do a more dramatic look, or I want to do a clean look, and I can change my mind if I want to. That's why I always use that. Yeah.
Man, you are popular. You are on fire. There are lots of questions. Let's just address the question first. Do you ever use high-speed sync?
I do. I use
photo. Yep.
90% of the time I'm always on high-speed sync. Yeah, I can't think of any scenario that I'm not on high-speed sync. So 90% of the time I do use high-speed sync. I don't actually use an 8600 Pro. The highest one I have is an 8400 Pro for my photo.
So that question can be addressed later, right? We will address your kit, right? Your kit for wedding photography. So we will address it later. Yep. Do you give clients to choose dramatic clean look output?
I do. I let client choose that. And if I feel on the day that their wedding is more suited to dramatic or clean, vice versa, I would let them know. I'll go, personally, after seeing your wedding and your styling, I think your photo will look better this way instead of that way. And most clients are like, Key, I have 100% trust in what you do. Just go your hardest. Yeah. Yeah,
we will. I think he will try to mention the modifiers, right? I think you mainly just use AKR1 for most of your images, right?
I do.
So Henny, he's fake just AKR1. He's pretty much it.
Pretty much what I use.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Let's carry back on.
Oh man, you're on fire. Lots of fans.
Good. Keep the question coming, guys. I'll try to address them all. So for wedding in a winery, some couple want to go for something that's more like this, which is the earthy type look, and that's totally fine. I'm a photographer that's a bit what do you call? I appreciate all different style, and I think couple should have the ability to choose a different style and not just come to your studio for one set style. But there is always in the various different style, there's always that little bit of the big capture style in there. It's still like it still has that kind of flash clean look to it. And the last style that I offer to my couple are what I call a soft style. So this is more suited to a beachy wedding and stuff like that. So when I hear a couple that want to take photo at the beach or have a ceremony at the beach, this is what I would recommend doing something like this. If you do a more like what I call a clean Vogue style, I feel it just doesn't match it as well. And this is another style that we do offer to our couple. So what I'm going to go through now is what is in my bag. So this is
before that. We have new question coming. Sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
Seems Rala have a couple questions. Do you see the house and the wedding hall before in most of the weddings? I guess she's asking, do you do? Yeah.
No, I don't go and see the houses beforehand. because I'm so familiar with how to use flash. No matter how bad the lighting condition in the house is, I'm confident I'll be able to overcome. Even if the house is small or even if it's messy, I'll always find places that we can shoot. So personally, I don't think that's necessary, but you have to be very good at your lighting and know how to highlight certain area and put the not as nice area in the shadow so people don't see it. Yeah. And I would address that in the next question, in the next slide.
Yep. Here we go.
Perfect. So
too easy.
This is what is in my camera bag. All right. So on a wedding day, I'll have two Sony A7R III. One of it, I will put the wide angle, which is a Sigma f1.8, 14mm, and the other one, sorry, what's this? Let's put this on the side. And the other body, I would always attach my 2470. You guys will soon see I use 2470 for almost 80% of my wedding shoot. I could potentially shoot a whole wedding with my 2470 if I want to. That's how much I love that lens. And the other two lenses I have in my body are the G Master 135 for ceremony in church area where I need more reach, and a 50mm micro, which is for more detailed photos. The only two flash I bring to my weddings are the Godox V1 and the 8200 Pro, just for my location photo. So I only use the 8200 Pro for location photo, and I use two V1 for my wedding, and that's pretty much it. I do have an 8300 Pro and 8400 Pro. I mainly use that more for my special project. And today I'm going to demonstrate to you guys a 60-70 shoot that I've done using the 82-300 Pro and the 80-400 Pro in that later on in the evening.
So before you change slides, he says hypersync, but I don't think you have 8600, right? Do you?
No, I don't.
So sorry, my he doesn't have 8600. He wouldn't be able to answer that question. Don is asking, is that the V1 modifier or 8200 Pro modifier?
That's the reason why. That's the reason why I like the V1 and 8200 Pro, because I use the same modifier.
Yeah,
and
so that
will be one set, and it fits both. Yeah. Can you give any tips to manage speed light in the smallest area? My biggest tip to you is to understand how to use your flash in manual mode. And it's not really that hard, because when you know how to do set your flash in manual, even whatever lighting condition, whatever size the area is, you'll be easily able to manage that. And in my later in the slide, I'm going to address some of this as well, so you can see how I use manual. Yeah.
I think it's pretty much in the same question. So yeah, you answer. You kill two birds with one stone.
Really
all right. That's the question for now. Let's keep it going.
Okay. And just a touch on the manual. The reason why I prefer manual over TTL is because if I was to if my lighting is not right or not perfect and I want a certain type of look, changing on manual is so fast, and only because now with especially now with Godox, where you can control your light with a remote with a remote trigger, you can change all that settings so quickly. Whereas in the past, before Godox, when I was using other flash system, changing your light, your output is so hard. I remember I used to call out to my assistant, can you change the 1/4 or 1/8? Or bring it back to 1/2. That was really hard. Whereas now with the new Godox trigger, that is so easy, because I can do that all by myself with my camera, on the trigger on my camera. Yeah. So moving on.
Yeah.
This is one of my.
Here we have a question.
Yep.
It says 120 centimeters reverse mount umbrella compared to Octabox. I will address that question.
Yeah.
I think if you are shooting outdoor, definitely get an umbrella, because with Octabox it's very hard to carry around with, and unless it's foldable one, right? So outdoor, do whatever you want. With indoor, depends. If you want a softbox looks, go for the Octabox. If you want softer look, go for the umbrella. But depends on the interior. The white one will be softer than the silver one. So that's a general indication.
And it comes down to what look you're trying to achieve as well with your photo, to determine what you're trying to get. Yeah. So this is one of my all-time favorite photo. We've done this photo with the bride and her bridesmaid at the reception. The only reason why we done it at the reception is we ran out of time during the day on our location photo. That's why we did it there. So this is this shot was literally set up very quickly. I sneaked the bridal party out from their reception into the reception foyer and grabbed this and took this photo really quickly. We were just using 1V1 and 24-70 lens. The setting for this was 60, aperture is 4.5, and ISO was 1000. All I did was I put the dome on top of my V1, chucked the V1 on top of my camera, and then fired it so that the V1 is bouncing off the ceiling to get the shot. So that was literally done in literally like 1 or 2 minutes just for the shot. What took longer was really just setting the bridesmaid up to where I wanted to be. That's what took a longer, but actually taking the shot and working out the setting was super fast and easy. Again, with my flash, I would have just used 1/4, but if I feel that was not strong enough, on my remote, on my Godox remote, I would just turn it up to 1/2, and that would fix up my exposure. So that's why I do it like that. That's why I shoot manual, because it's so much faster to change my setting. The next photo. This one, as you can see, the setup is amazing. And when you see a setup that's this amazing, it's kind of good and bad. Because good is your photo can look amazing however you take it, but the bad thing is, how can you make the bride and groom be the star of the setup when there's so much pretty stuff happening around them? And this is why, even though the reception is very bright, very clean, very white, I still choose to use flash. And all I did here was put the 8200 Pro and got my assistant to stand at the back of the bride and groom and backlit it. That's all I did. So that there's a small, they pop out from the setup a bit more than if I've not used a flash. So this is quite important. I would still do that even in a bright area, so that the main thing is to make the subject, more dominant in the photo. The setting, again, as you can see, is the speed is 160, aperture is 4.5, and ISO is 400. And here I use the Sigma 14mm lens. Again, super easy. The setting for the 8200 back then would be 1/8. Again, on manual. But if I need to change the setting, I just do it on my remote. Even if it's going up a bit or lower the power a bit, and I can do that very quickly to get that perfect shot. So yeah. So that's this photo.
So here's a question. Henning's asking the visual difference in bouncing with dome and without dome.
With the dome, I get a much softer feel on the photo. So that's what I'll get. But the dome do lower your power a bit as well. So it comes down to the situation, how much power you want your flash to release. Most of the time, 80% of the time, I would put a dome on it, because I do want the light to be soft and not harsh. Yeah.
Keith, do you have 850?
I used to have an 850, but since then
You reckon you can use your X Pro to lead 850 and V1 at the same time? Because I never had a V850 before, so I'm not too sure about that answer.
You can do it at the same time. It's not a problem.
Okay. So yep, here's your answer.
Cool. This is another amazing photo that I love of the couple where, again, all this photo I'm showing you is on the wedding day, where we're under a lot of time pressure. Now, this photo I could do it without using a flash, because you know, there's a beautiful lamp on the side that will light up give the light I need. However, I still decided to use a flash because I wanted the photo to look even more three-dimensional, and it pops out a bit more. So here I purposely overexposed the background. The reason why I've done this is so that, you know, we'll get this really nice halo type of mystical type of feel from the window light falling in from the back of the grooms. Sort of a shot where, you know, he's leading his bride to, you know, to a stairways to heaven kind of feel is what I'm trying to get here. The light that I use here is the V1. Again, just one light, very simple. My assistant standing in that little room where there's an orange light coming from there. I'll just put an orange gel on there on top of my V1 and fire it away to get the shot. The setting, as you can see, is 60 f2.8 and ISO is 1250 for this shot. Again, using the 24-70 lens to achieve this photo. Moving along. This is another image where, very simple, just ask the bride and groom to walk out of the front of this beautiful archway. But as you can see in the image, you know, the sun was facing more towards that building in the background, and it's not shining towards the couple. But I really want the couple to have this really, you know, this feel of them walking into the warm sunlight. So I got you know, I use the 8200 Pro here. Again, backlit, very simple, you know, on manual setting. In this one, I knew to get that really sun effect, you know, I had to put an orange gel in there, but I knew the power has to be really strong. And, you know, straight away, I just popped it straight into full power on the 8200 Pro, and then adjust my speed and ISO to get the perfect exposure. It's really simple. So I always have an assistant with me on the wedding day, purely just to hold the flash, to do, you know, backlit or just in the front of the bride's groom's face on an angle, to get this really quick shot. And these are really simple, easy, you know, flash technique that really, you know, is so fast and simple to do, but it really add a new depth to your image, and something that the couple don't normally see, because what they're probably used to are more natural light photos. But when you start introducing, you know, some artificial light, you know, it wowed them all the time. So moving along, rain photos. Everyone loves a rain photo. The couple loves it. I love doing it. This photo was taken in Adelaide Hills, where it was probably the worst downpour I've experienced in my 9 years of shooting. It took a lot of convincing for the couple to get up, but I was so blessed that, you know, the couple was willing to, you know, really to get out of the house and do it. I mean, get out of the car and do it, which is great. My assistant didn't really like it because he was soaking wet, holding the 8200 Pro at the back, and again backlit. I decided to put orange gel because the reason why I wanted an orange gel is because everything was really the color, because of the big rain and storm. You know, the color and everything was very dull, very grey. So I wanted just a bit of life in the photo. And then I used the orange gel, and then again backlit, very simple, manual, the flash on manual. I did put a grid on here as well, because I don't want the light to spill too much. I know a lot of photographers would probably not put a grid on it because they want to capture more of the rain, but I think in this case I made the decision to put a grid to control the light a bit more. Again, it's a 24-70 lens. You know, 100 speed, f2.8, and then ISO 1250. So as a trick, I always tend to start my flash power around 1/4, and then from then I would adjust it, higher, lower, and see how I go to get that perfect image. I tend to get my camera setting right to the exposure that I wanted to look, the photo to look, and then it's just up to changing the power of the flash to get my desired feel for the image.
Before you change the slide,
Yeah. How did I protect the light in the rain? I actually didn't. I ran the risk, and I just got the assistant to hold the light in the rain for that one. So it survived the rain for me in that case. So yeah, because I didn't have time to work.
Yeah. Let me give some advice. I usually put some, when you go to Woody's, they have some free sort of plastic bag around the fruits area, stuff like those. Just get some, or the fresh bags for your sandwiches. Just put them around. Just leave some bags in the car, and you can get out whenever you want.
Yeah.
If you want to carry something in your camera bag to be more compact, not me, but a friend of mine actually used Condon.
Really?
Yeah, it's very flexible, and it's waterproofing. It's proofing lots of things, so that would work too. So here's your tips.
Thanks for the tip. I remember that one.
Yeah, mate.
All right, moving along. Next image. This one. This is a classic example where you shouldn't use flash. The reason why is because, as you can see in the photo, the shadow is on the left hand side. So the sun is coming from the right to the left. Lighting the groom's face is no problem. It's easy. The sun will do that. But if I have the bride facing the opposite direction, her face will be all dark and in the shadow. So this is one of those photos where you can get the groom to step in front a little bit, and then you can get the bride to get the flash just on the bride's face to get this kind of look. Again, I use the 80-200 Pro. I use the 80-200 Pro a lot on location because it's so compact, small, and the modifiers fit on the V1, which I often use for indoor and reception and ceremony. That's the reason why I love these two combinations on a wedding day. The setting you can see is there. I wanted more detail of the background, so I chose an f5.6, and in this photo, the flash, I would have went full power with the flash. So I would have just put the round head into the 80-200 Pro plus the dome on top, just to get that softer look on the bride's face. Very simple, using a Sigma lens for this one, 14mm, to get this photo. This one, another quick photo you should do on your wedding day. Very easy,
Sorry, Key. Can we just quickly go back to the previous slides?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jose is asking, is this a composite veil?
No. So I was actually holding the veil while holding the camera. So I'm holding the left-hand side of the veil, and then I think it was the groomsman or the bridesmaid holding the other side of the veil, and then just let the wind blow it, and then you create that. So not composite.
So
you don't have time.
So it's one shot.
Yeah, you don't have time to do composite on a wedding collection where you where you have hundreds of different wedding photos.
Yeah.
So you try to get
It's too much work.
Too much work. That's why you always need to try to get the perfect exposure, the perfect setting, on the day.
Master Key needs to save time to enjoy his mansion as well, his athlete retirement life.
Don't listen to Aries. It's just a dump.
I love you, man. I love you too. Anyway, we call that tough love.
Tough love, yes. spreading the wrong message. This photo, something that every wedding photographer should do on a wedding day. It's the reason why I like doing something like this is because it gets the, if you come across a bridal party that is very shy, that's not comfortable with the camera, this is a good way to break the ice a bit, get them to have a bit of fun, spraying the champagne, and this bride went crazy with the champagne. I only told her to shake it like once or twice, and she just kept shaking it, so it went crazy. So most wedding photographer will probably find a nice even light area and just shoot this photo without using flash. The reason why I recommend, and this is a good quick technique, is just to use a flash to do this very quickly. Normally I would just do this with my V1. It will be powerful enough with a V1, but at the time my assistant only had the 8200 Pro with her, so we just pointed the 8200 Pro straight at the subject, and then when the spray comes out, it will catch the champagne, the alcohol will catch all the light when the flash goes off to get this photo. This is just something quick, fun to do, and clients always love this type of photo. Again, the setting you can see is speed is 100. I don't want my speed to be too low in this one. I want it to be pretty high, so that it can capture all the different droplet when the champagne sprays. My F should always be high, because you want everyone in the bridal party to be nice and sharp in this photo. And ISO is depending, how much light you want in and out. You just set that accordingly. Again, manual. My setting would be 1/4, which is my go-to setting. I always start from 1/4, and then reduce it, increase it based on that. 1/4 tends to work in most situations for me. All right, moving along.
A quick question.
Yep.
From RJ, he says, can a chip off-camera flash still produce good quality lighting setup? I think RJ, if you pay attention, that for every slide, he actually shares with you the light he used. So just pay attention.
Yeah. So, another beautiful reception setup. Again, everyone should do some backlit light in a reception room, because it's just really nice. It produces a really nice glow for the couple, and above all, it separates the couple from the background. That's the aim. And if I would have put the flash not at the back but at the front, it would be too harsh in my opinion to get a shot like this. Again, I use 8200 Pro a lot on a wedding day to do a lot of the more portrait type work. The speed's 200, the aperture is 3.5, ISO 800. Again, in this photo, my flash, I started off with manual 1/4, and then it was too powerful. There was too much light bouncing off the back of the head, and then I just what to do that, I made two changes. I lowered the power to 1/8. I still kept my camera setting, because I know my camera setting was perfect without the light. So what I normally do before putting the flash into my photo, I get the camera setting to be perfect exposure first. A lot of the time, and what I mean by perfect exposure is I expose to the surrounding, not the couple, because I know the couple will be lit up by the flash. So I normally set my exposure to the setting, and then leave my flash on manual mode to see what's the best power output to light up the couple. When I first started this one, I go to 1/4. That was too bright, and there was too much light spilling out of the couple's back of their heads. So what I do in cases like this is chuck a grid on there. Put a grid on there, lower the power to 1/8, and boom, you get that shot straight away. And all this, in my assistant, in her pocket, she'll have a grid and the soft dome and some color gel. That's always in her pocket. In case I will go, oh, chuck the grid in. She'll chuck the grid in, and then I change the power from my end on my trigger, and then boom, straight away I'll get a shot really quickly, really efficiently, before the reception starts.
Here's a question. He says can he achieve the same result with TT520? I'm not sure about the model. So
TT520, you could achieve the same result, but from memory but I'm not sure about modifiers. The main reason why we get that look is Godox has that very simple modifier where it's magnetic for the V1, and I can just chuck it on straight away. Most of the modified out there is hard. You to put Velcro on it or that kind of stuff. So that's something to consider.
Bulky, right? So it's not only about the light; it's almost about the ecosystem, right? With round heads, Godox has the AKR1. It's probably would make your life easier. But I know there is a square Godox head lights to round heads AKR1 adapter. I think it's very cheap, so you might just say, well, get that one. But I can't remember the model number. I'm sorry. But if you Google it up, it should be easy.
That's right. So yeah, and Eric touched on a really good point. When you choose your lighting system, for me, it's all about speed on a wedding day. I have so much. Most of my bridal party are like big bridal party. There's 16, 18, 20 bridal, 20 in total in the bridal party. So it's all about the speed. And I don't have a lot of time. Probably I'll be lucky if I have sometime I only have like half an hour. Most of the time I ask my couple to give me 2 hours, but they'll be lucky after the ceremony, after congratulation, after family photo, if you even have 2 hours to do it. So it has to be fast. Your modifier has to be small so it can fit in a pocket. It's all about that. It's all about speed for me. So this is another example where a lot of the time on the wedding day, the couple would like to stop by a cafe, have a nice meal, and rather than sitting there and watch the couple eat, it's a good time to have some fun photos. It's a good time to get something different. Because after the couple have eaten, the bridal parties relax a bit, have a bit of alcohol. I recommend them alcohol all the time. That's how you can get them to do a lot of crazy stuff, and they're a lot more relaxed. So this is, a lot of the time I'll do something like this with my bridal party, and it'll be fun. Only if they want to, of course. But most of them do want to have a bit of fun. And again, this is very simple. It's just using the V1, one V1. In this shot, I have the V1. Again, the V1 is not even, my system's not even holding the V1. The V1 is just on top of my Sony camera, and then there was a white wall at the back of me. So I just bounced the V1 on the white wall at the back of me, and then so it hits everyone. So just one V1 using a 24-70 lens. I do like to use 24-70 lens more than the wide angle because it's less distortion. Again, it comes down to less editing work for me later on. And normally for good photo like this, I don't want to set my power too high. I'm still, in this case, my power was more like 1/8 because I wanted to recycle really quick for an action shot like this. That's why my ISO is a bit high in this case. It's 1:250. My aperture, I don't want it to be too low as well. I want it to be fairly, at around f4, even higher if I can. Because I want all the subject to be, nice and sharp. Whereas if I go f2.8, probably only the bride and groom will be sharp. And speed 200. So the reason why I always don't go under 200 for a good photo is because when they're moving around, you don't want to run the risk of them being a bit blurry. So 200 is always the minimum I would keep my speed at if I want to do a more action style shot indoor. If I'm outdoor, it's a different story. Outdoor, I can boost my speed all the way up. I can even make my aperture even higher for an outdoor type shot like this. All right, very simple, one flash. And this is another trick that I normally go. When I choose a location, I always see if there's any nice white wall where I can bounce the light off to get that soft look without having soft boxes and stuff like that on a wedding day. And I don't have to bring the bigger light out. I can just use my V1 and that will do. Sometimes I'm even too lazy to use 2 V1. If I can get away 1 V1, I'll just do 1 V1. All right, next. If there's no question, next image. So this one, again, on location, Sarah and Jerry's wedding. This one is, I don't do this very often, but in this shot, I actually use 2 light instead of 1 light. So 2 light instead of 1 light. So I don't normally use more than 1 light on a wedding day. So the reason why I did this was I wanted, I needed to try to get the bride and groom some light on their face, because there's, you know, there wasn't enough light on there. I could have got the bride to face her face towards the window, but I prefer the positioning here instead. That's why when it comes to a situation like this where you're restricted to where the bride and groom can stand, and you want a certain type of look, you know, this is when flash is so amazing, because you can pretty much overcome anything, any bad lighting condition. So there's 1 flash on the bride. The assistant was standing next to the bride on the left-hand side, and then there's another flash standing opposite the groom to light this one up. And the power for this one would be quite low. It would be, I know 1/4 will be quite high for this case, in this case, because the flash is pointing straight at the subject, rather than bouncing off anything. You can see from the shadow. The shadow is quite harsh. So in this case, I would have I placed a dome on my 8200 Pro and a dome on the V1, and again, just a 24-70 lens to get this kind of look. Yeah, to get this kind of look. The other reason why I chose to use flash and not natural light for this one is because I wanted it really clean. I wanted really white and crisp white, and having a flash to brighten up the subject and the room will make my editing easier when I come home. Yep. So I just need a bit of water, getting dry.
Take your time.
So guys, next one. So with this photo, this is another trick you can use with your couple. When we arrived back when we went to this location, we wanted to go to this location because there was a nice sunset. I knew that this location had a really good sunset, but on the day of her wedding, it was overcast, and you know, often the couple will be quite disappointed if they can't get a really nice sunset photo. So to overcome that, you know, what I did was very simple. Just use the 8200 Pro, backlit again, put an orange gel on it, and got
you have the sunny boy.
Yeah. So this, yeah. So it's nice and simple. Again, all this fit in my assistant's pocket. So you know, all the modifiers. She'll have all the color gel. She'll have the grid. She'll have the, you know, the dome. All this just fit in the pocket, and I can, you know, change all this, you know, very quickly. If I wanted a more night look, I will probably put a blue gel in there to get a cooler type of look. Again, just backlit. I did put a grid on here because I don't want her dress, because they're both in white, and I don't want it to be you know, too much white, too much light leaking out of the side of them. So I did put a grid on orange gel on this photo. ISO was quite high because it was getting dark, because no sunset, and then speed was quite low as well, 125. And here I chose to use f2.8 because I wanted the background to be a bit more softer, more blur. The reason why I chose that setting. All right, moving along. Next one. There's no questions.
How come your couples all look fantastic? Your groom are all look so handsome, and the brides are always so hot.
That's something I'm very blessed about. I just keep getting really hot couple, and I feel very lucky with that.
We call that personal charisma, right? Of key, master key.
I love all my couple. They're just all really hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is actually not. This one is actually in a forest. And as you can see, when we got there, we got really nice sun, leaking in from the background, which is amazing. But in this area, the leaves at the bottom was actually quite tall. Sorry, stop that. Quite tall.
Is our wife calling? Says your lasagna or your I don't know tiramisu is ready in the kitchen.
Yeah,
come and enjoy it.
So I might stop it here, guys, and I'll come back in half an hour time. Okay.
Oh man.
So with this photo, I actually got the couple standing on a chair, to elevate them. And then I got my sister noted in the 8200 Pro with an orange gel to try to mimic some of the orange warm sunlight coming in from the background to get this look. So that's pretty much most of the images. With this one, very quickly, I wanted to include this one is because, when I was a couple in this location, there was really nice sunlight coming from the back. So in situations like this, I carry some smoke bomb with me, and I would normally light a smoke bomb to get that really nice angel hair at the back. Situation like this is perfect for smoke bomb, and that actually those angel light in the back is not actually photoshopped in. And then in this case, I just have a flash, a V1 at the front, lighting the couple up to get this kind of look. And this is again a really nice trick, and it's a great way to wow your client. So that's pretty much most of my. That's pretty much an example of my wedding. If you want to see,
is that your assistant smoking in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the right hand corner.
Oh man, poor Tony.
That's like 2 or 3 smoke bombs let off at the same time. Yeah. So that's pretty much that's some of the example I have how you can use Flash very quickly, efficiently on a wedding day. If you want to see how I actually use Flash, behind the scene, you can go to YouTube. This YouTube, I have a video there where it document how I actually shot a real wedding and how I used the Flash on that day. You can go there and have a look.
Would you be having any workshop online or offline in short future so people can see the legend in flesh himself?
I've been telling myself to do a workshop for the last 9 years, but never had the time to do it yet. So yeah. I would love to do one. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to do one. I just haven't had the time to do it yet. But
okay.
In the very near future, I can do one.
Okay, sure.
So when I was going on my YouTube channel, not YouTube, Godox YouTube channel, there was a lot of questions. I don't want to spend too much time on these wedding photos because I want to spend more time on a recent shoot that I've done that I really, really enjoyed doing a lot. It was a 60-70 shoot where I want to talk about that a bit more and how show you guys how I use light in that. And I want to share that with you. But before I go there very quickly, a lot of people ask me how I done this photo on the wedding day because this is interesting point because every time when you have something really bright like firework at the back, your subject's face will be very dark. And again, I didn't use any fancy light. I just used the 1V1, and the V1 was just on top of my camera. Very simple. But what I did do is I put a dome on top. The reason why I put a dome is not only would it soften my image, but it will actually let my light hit the subject a bit more. Even though my V1 is pointing straight at the ceiling, bouncing to the subject, but with a dome, it will actually give me a bit more light towards the subject and it's softer as well. Very simple. My power would just be 1/4. And then the speed is 200, f4, and ISO is 800. Again, 24-70 lens, very simple. Just one flash, and the flash is not even held by the system, it's just on top of the camera to get this type of shot. Very quickly, another one.
People are already demanding your workshop. Master Key must have something coming up in the future. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I'll try to. Thank you for your support, though, guys. So this one again, very simple. When you get the couple walking and the firework coming from the side, this is again, don't go don't think too much about your lighting setup. Just put your flash on top of your camera, put a dome on top, and put your settings. Again, my light will just be starting at 1/4. Again, very simple, 1/4. And then I actually don't change the setting of my light in this case. I use my speed to control the ambience of the photo. So if they come in, the firework is lights up, and the face is too dark, I'll just reduce the speed a little. Or if the picture is too bright, I just increase the speed a little. And everything else is constant. And that's how you can quickly get a photo like this very quickly in a situation like this. Because these are one of those photos that you must get right, because the couple always want this photo. And if you stuff it up, you probably stop your career. So again, very simple. Keep your flash simple, 1/4, put it on top of your camera, and then put your ISO at around not too high, not over 1000, because the reason why it's not over 1000 is because when the fireworks light up, it's going to be so bright. But always put your aperture constant and use your speed to control how much light you're going to let in or out.
Here's a question: says, do you use gel in this photo or no?
No gel.
Did you use
no
gel? Okay,
Just
no gel. Okay.
On top of the V1. Very simple. Okay. Yeah, sure. Keep it simple. Okay, this is what I'm really excited to share with you guys about. It's the recent shoot I've done a couple of weeks last week. It's a 60/70 style shoot. It's for one of my bride that I'm going to shoot her beautiful wedding next year. But she really wanted to do a 60/70 film shoot, and I've never done a shoot like that, and I never edit any photos like that in my life. So when I get a project like this, I'm really excited because I can try something new, and I'll see how I can get that kind of look. So before I do that, 60/70s, when this is straight from Pinterest, guys. So 60/70s is all about color, fun, checkerboard, stripes, honeycombs, color block, and roller skate. That's that era. So before I approach a project like this, do a bit of research, get a bit of idea what the photo looks like. Now, what I found out is 60/70. That's when Polaroid was so popular, and that was perfect. Then I decided for this photo shoot, I use the Polaroid style in my photo to get that look that I want to reflect the 60/70 look. So what does Polaroid look like? Polaroid is more, it has a more organic feel compared to digital cameras. It's a bit, the image is not perfect. It has a haze effect. The contrast is lower, and there's a high level of a noise because cameras was pretty bad back in the days. And however, it's because of these that makes Polaroid photos, so unique and so beautiful at the same time. And for this shoot, I've decided to, mimic the Polaroid feel. And again, for this special project, I decided to mainly use the 8300 Pro and the 8400 Pro for this photo shoot. So this is what the image looks like. So I try to make it more of a Polaroid feel. I try to look for walls that that are more the 60/70 style. And in this one, the lens would be a 24/70 lens, and the speed would be 800 f5 ISO 200. Aries, why don't you play the video to see how my light was set up to get this photo?
Cool. The first one?
The first one, please. Yep.
Sure. I'll let you audio comment on it. Yeah.
Sorry?
I'll let you audio comment on it.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. I'm going to add that. All right, let's play it.
So I use a big softbox in this. So the softbox was facing opposite to the sun. Now, the reason why I didn't want the Daniela here, she's not a model. She's actually going to be my bride for next year. She should be a model. She's gorgeous. The reason why I didn't want her to face the sun is because if you get the model to Daniela here to face the sun, she'll split a little, and her eyes will her eyes won't feel comfortable. That's why I decided for her to face the other direction away from the sun, and that's why we need a light there to light her up. Otherwise, her face will be dark there. So we play the second video. Anyways, please.
Sure. Of course. Give me 1 sec. Share screen. Can you see it?
Yes. Again, she was getting good light from where the sun is, but her right side, from her direction, her left side of the face was getting a bit too dark, and that's why I put a nice softbox there to lighten the shadow up to get this next photo here. So the setting for that was quite simple. Again, I still shoot in manual mode, and my setting for the flashes would be around 1/8, 1/4 to start with, and then I'll adjust it accordingly. So in this case, it was f5, speed is 800 and ISO 200 to get this photo and get this look. So moving along to the next slide. So that's what it looks like without flash.
Should I switch back to your side?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Okay. No worries. Here we go.
Yep. Whoops. Can everyone see this? So this is just a quick one. When I get Daniela to face the other way, and without a flash, all her face would just be in the shadow. So this photo, I really love her in this photo. For this one, I used the 8400 Pro because I wanted to mimic some nice warm sun coming from the right hand side to get this look. So here I used the yellow gel on top of the light, and I put the light on her right hand side, her left hand side from the picture, her left hand side, and then shine the light in to get that really nice warm glow. And I really wanted that warm look as well because I feel like that warm looks really suit the 60s, 70s style, and in this case, it really suit the beautiful dress she's wearing as well. The setting is quite simple, it's f5. I want it to be quite everything to be in detail with ISO 200 and then the speed 500 in this one. Again, I can play you guys the video now to show you guys how my light was placed in behind the scene. So
the third one?
Yes, please.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Yep.
So that's the yellow gel that I put on. And then I also use the barn door as well because I wanted the light to be directional. So she walks out, and the light is actually where the yellow line on the wall is. That's where I put it there. Even though I had the 8300 on the right hand side, in this case I actually didn't use the 8300. I just used the orange one to get that look. So moving along. it's not working. So moving along. So that's what it would look like if I did not use a flash in this situation, and without the orange light to mimic the sun, the image, in my opinion, looks a bit flat. I love this photo personally. It's very 60/70 in my opinion. Again, I've kept my AD400 Pro in this one, but this time, what I've done is I put the AD400 Pro on towards towards the left hand side. All right, and again with the orange gel, and this one. And then I used there's a wall there with a lot of holes for it, and I used that to frame my subject to get this shot. I'm not sure if I had the barn door on there. I forgot. So let's play the video, Aries, to see if there was a barn door on this shot.
Okay, sure. Let's close that one. Screen, tab, number 4, right?
Yeah, it should be number 4.
Oh, sexy, man. Look at your pose. The feminine side of Master Key.
It's good, huh? So actually, I remember wrong. Lucky there's a video. I actually had the AD400 Pro on the outside of the wall, and then shooting in. To get that feel. Oh no, I was right. It's actually I didn't use the orange gel. I used the AD300 Pro with a softbox to light it up. My apologies, getting too old. Forget what I've done. So that's what I would have done there. As you can see, there's AD300 Pro with a softbox on the inside of the wall to get that look. So the AD400 is the one with the barn door. In this case, I didn't use that light in this photo to create this photo. So I'm just shooting through the wall because there's a lot of hole there to get that shape to frame the subject. So that's good. Maybe we can go to the next image now.
Sure.
Back my screen.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll put your back.
So that's what that image was how I done that image. I used the AD300 Pro, put it inside the wall with a nice big softbox to soften the light on her face to get this look. Now the next one was the one where I used the AD400 Pro to put that outside the wall to get that orange get that orange sunlight onto my subject.
Number 5, right?
Yeah, number 5. So with this one, the setting. Yep. Are you playing the video? Yep.
Yep. Can you see the video?
I can see the video. That's perfect. So I always do a lot of variation on the shoot just to see what looks best, what works, what doesn't work. You know, even though I've done a lot of shooting, sometimes I might not know what works well or not work well. So we can do a number of different type of poses, and different lighting. So in this case, the speed was one of the two. The barn door, I left the barn door on there, but I opened the barn door up a bit more to get more light going onto the wall, and with an orange gel to get this one. So ISO was 200, f4, speed was 200 as well. for this to get this look. And she looks amazing in this one. I love it.
Yeah.
Another one. So I moved the barn door on the 8400 Pro and direct the light a bit more and just aim it straight at her face so that the orange, so it's like there's a spot of orange sunlight hitting her face. Again, the 8400 Pro was on the outside of the wall, and then I had a orange yellow gel on my 8400 Pro with the barn door slightly close the barn door slightly more to get a more directional light on her face. And I can show you the video of this one as well. That would be number 5, is it, that we're up to? Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Here we go. Number 5. Number 6. Number 5.
I think it's number 5. Yeah.
Is it number 6? We've just finished number 5. Is it this one?
Number 6 then.
This is number 6.
All right. This is the one. Yeah.
The next one, right? The next one.
No, I think this is the one.
This is the one. Yep, sure.
This is the one. Yep. So at this time I'm standing on the other side, and then the 8400 Pro is just on the other side of the wall, which you can't see in here. But it's with a yellow gel trying to mimic the sun hitting her face through the wall. And this is why I love using flash. It's just I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever mood I want, and that is the remote that I go put on top of my camera to control all my lighting setting very quickly. This is why having flash, knowing how to use flash is so beneficial on a shoot. You can create, you don't have to depend on the weather anymore.
Looks great.
Yeah, so going back, she changed to a new dress.
Just give me, I need to put your slides back. Yeah, here we go. Cool.
She put on a beautiful blue dress this time for this photo. Here I just had a bit of fun, I wanted to play around with a bit of blue to match with her dress. So here I put the 8400, used the 8400 Pro, but instead of using the orange gel, I play around with the blue gel to light the back of the wall so that she's a bit more separated from the white wall, and to bring in the blue, which will enhance her blue dress, which is why I've chosen to do that for this photo. Otherwise, everything will just be very plain. So this is what I've done here. The setting, speed is 640, f2.3.2, and ISO is very low at 200 because it was quite bright. We were shooting outdoor and there was a lot of light, so my ISO didn't have to be too high as well. So again, we can play the video to see where I placed the light and everything.
Sure. Number, all right.
So number 7?
I think so, yeah. Here we go. Beautiful. You see it?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, see I had the blue light there. I still had the barn door on there to give it a bit more directional light. You can still see in the video where I trigger it. You can see that little nice blue glow at the back of her dress there to get that look. So that's that one there. So the power was full power, 1/1. This one that was shown in the video is the 1/8. I didn't actually use that. Use the 8300 for that one. It's only just the 8400 Pro for that one. Now on a wedding day, we don't have the luxury of time to play around with all these different lighting setup and everything. I tend to go a lot more lighter, so then I tend to use the V1 and the 8200 Pro most of the time for my lighting there, which still does an awesome job. I don't, there's a lot of way that you can, even though they are flashes with less power, but you can still get a good decent amount of power out of them by changing your camera setting. So moving on to the next slide. Oh, I love this one. How she got roller skates on. It's Wary 60. Wary 60 is very nice in this type of environment. So you can see with the big shadow on the wall, the sun is coming in from the side of her. All right. But I've chosen to shoot her face on because it's all about getting her beautiful face and also getting that amazing roller skate in my picture to get that really nice 60-70 vibe. If I didn't use a flash, this is what the photo would look like. See the sun coming in from the side, will cast a big shadow from her hair, her arm, everything onto her face. But with a flash on with an 8300 Pro with a softbox, with a big softbox in there, you get this really nice even light, which is what I love. The speed was 2500. The aperture was 4.5 and the ISO is 200 in this case. And again, we can go to the video to see where the light was placed. In this case, the light was placed in front of her. So it's quite sunny that day, but the sun can be good, but at the same time, where I want the model, where I want Daniela to be, is casting a lot of shadow to my shot. So my 8300 Pro was just right on top of her with a big softbox, and then I was shooting it beneath the 8300 Pro there to get the shot I wanted. It was really sunny, so my power was like 1/1 full power for the shot. Again, with that softbox on it, even though it's full power, you still get really nice, even lighting and not too harsh on her face. So that's that one there. So without flash, with flash. Another variation, again, same setting, similar setting. Even my camera setting, I think it's very similar. Yeah, my camera setting is very similar. And the flash, the 8300 Pro, I didn't move it. I kept it where it was in the last video, and to get a different variation in my shot. I think there's a video of this as well, Aries.
Yeah. Before we jump into that, John's asking, do you think 8200 will be able to do it?
In this situation, I think the 8300 would be better because the sun
I think 8200 will be struggling. Yeah,
struggle because to get this shot, I actually was on full power, so I used full 8300 Pro power on this shot. So I think the 8200 will be a struggle.
Yeah, I would guess so too.
Yeah.
The Christian was asking, would you use assistant or usually do alone?
In this project, on a wedding day, I always recommend an assistant because again, it's all about speed. It's so worth investing in an assistant. For a project like this where we got time, we're not under time constraint. I did this all by myself. So on the day was just by myself, and then a videographer trying to capture some behind the scenes footage for myself to use. And the 8400 Pro is actually very light, even though it may look very big on the light stand there, but it's actually just a softbox that's really big. I've chosen a really big softbox so that the light is softer and more even. But the actual unit 8300 Pro is actually shorter than the 8200 Pro, but it's just slightly fatter, but not by much. So
fatter.
Fatter.
I like that word. Yeah.
So once my wedding starts again, I think I will probably start using the 8300 Pro on wedding instead of 8200 Pro. But I'll see how it goes. But 8300 Pro will give me more power, but the size is pretty much just similar, very much the same as 8200 Pro. And yeah, so I will consider doing that with my new wedding season this year. But I would always keep 2 Godox V1 for weddings because they're just so fast and so small for indoor shoot especially. And most of the time I don't even have I don't even need an assistant for that. I just put the V1 on top of my camera and put a dome on top to get those beautiful white clean look that I normally do on a wedding day. So this one, we got her with Coke to get more 60 vibe. I went everywhere trying to find some Coke with glass on there. Keep finding can one to get this look here. If you look at my next slide, without the flash, it would be quite dark. With the flash, it would just even the light out. My setting again is my aperture. I made my aperture really quite high in this one, 5.6, because I really like the texture of the wall, and I want the texture of the wall to come out in this photo. Speed was 100, ISO is 200 in this case. Again, I should have a video showing where my light was placed. And we can put that on, please.
Sure. This one?
Yep.
No.
That's the one.
Oh, that's the one. Yep.
So she wasn't too confident on roller skate, but but we really wanted that roller skate, incorporate roller skate in this shoot to get that really nice 60 vibe. So the 8300 was on a big softbox, directly straight into her face, and I don't really mind it because with a big softbox like that, the light coming out, even though it's directly straight into her face, the light coming out from that will still be quite soft for the photo I wanted for.
Love your shoes, Master Key.
I love that shoes too. Too bad I can't fit it. She's only a size. She's this roller skate's only a size 5, which is amazing to see. So again, without flash and with flash, it's just makes my life a lot easier. So a lot of photo you can do natural light, but then you are limited to where you can shoot. Whereas with flash, with the knowledge of how to use flash, you can shoot anywhere you want, even if the lighting is bad. You're not restricted to your location, and more importantly, you're not restricted to the style because I can even use flash in a 60-70 shoot and still get the 60-70 kind of look later on. This is why flash is so. This is why I love using flash so much because it keeps my option open. Okay.
Since we are on time constraint, maybe let's just show people before and after photo. I will upload all the behind the scene clips on the Instagram so people can see it. Would that work for you? Cool. Good. So guys, make sure you guys follow us, follow our Instagram. We will show you the BTS video over there. And for now, let's just focus on the lights, right?
Yeah, sounds good. By the time we got to this location, it was pretty dark, as you can see. This is without flash. But 60s, 70s is all about having fun, carefree spirit, lying on flower field, with the sun shining on you. That's the type of vibe we want to get. But by the time we got there, it was quite dark, as you can see. So what we did was to mimic the sun. Again, I used the 8400 Pro, put a yellow gel on there, and then shoot it from the right hand side to get that really nice warm feel on her hair, you know, on the flowers, and then also use the 8300 Pro with a softbox to light her face up to get this look. So the settings all on here. You guys can have a look at the settings. Again, everything was manual, on manual, and then I can just change my setting up and down on my remote when I feel like it. That's why I like using manual. Again, all these photos, you know, just to get that really nice warm glow on Daniela. Again, I use two light, one for the face and one for the sun. So the face was the 8300 Pro with a softbox, and the 8400 Pro is with the yellow gel to mimic the sun, to get this really nice look. This one, I love her eyes. Her eyes are so beautiful. So I thought, you know, let's do a really close-up one to get that nice, to get her beautiful eyes. And this is again, I still have the 8400 Pro at the back to get that really nice warm coming in through her hair strand, everything, and then having the 8300 Pro on the side of her to light up her beautiful feature and face. So the setting is on there. On all my slides here is you know, ISO 500, f3.5, and speed is 125. Then we went to the cinema. I was going around Adelaide trying to find a cinema that looks where it's 60, where it's 70, and we found a cinema that kind of you know, showed that kind of era. By then, I decided to use 8200 Pro because I was running out of time. You know, it was around, I think, 7 o'clock, and you know, we really shot a bit too long. So I went for, you know, something that's you know, smaller, quicker, 8300 Pro, and because it was so dark anyway, I don't want something that's too powerful as well to blow out my subject. So I went for the 8200 Pro, which provide less power compared to the bigger brothers. Here is just very simple, backlit the subject. You know, the setting on the flash would have been something like, you know, 1/8 or even 1/16. And here I did put a grid on. When I backlit, I always put most of the time I put a grid on, so to prevent the, you know, the light from spilling everywhere. The next photo, again, we have the beautiful cinema, which represent the more, you know, the older style cinema, and we have our beautiful Daniela there. You know, again, it's just backlit on her hair again to keep her, to separate her from the background. Yeah. The light on her face was just mainly from the cinema light. It wasn't from a flash. So moving along with this image, I used the 8200 Pro, and this time the 8200 Pro is actually on the front. And because I'm actually, you know, directing the light onto her face, I want the light to be a bit softer. So here I put a dome on the 8200 Pro to give it a softer look on her face, to get this final image from the night, which I absolutely love. So that was my experience on a 60-70 shoot, which I've never done before. It's not my usual style, but I always love trying out new style, and this was such a fun project that I really wanted to share with you guys, how I use different flash and different scenario, getting creative with it and getting a different feel, and how I use flash to shoot in pretty much any locations and not be bounded by, you know, restrictions. So yeah, that is my presentation for tonight, my talk for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found something useful. As always, if you have any questions, feel free. I'm more than happy to answer your question. You know, just connect with me on social media, and I'm happy to answer any question you guys have as well.
Guys, just follow Kilo on his social media for his work, and if you like particular image, just drop in comments. If you want his mentoring session, or you know, he have any workshop coming up, dropping a message, asking. It never hurts to ask, right?
Yeah.
And before we actually pack up, there are 2 questions. Maybe we can get Master Key to answer them before we pack up for tonight. I think that's Godox AD85W. Is that what you were using there?
Yes.
Yeah. So AD85W. That's Godox mount collapsible softbox.
Yes. I like that one because yes, it's collapsible. So it's like umbrella.
Yeah. So here's another question.
For wedding, I haven't ever used 280-200 Pro. So if my honest opinion, I think you should get 2V1 and 180-200 rather than 280-200. That will give you more flexibility.
Yeah. So Alfred, just go look back at Kilo's work. There is a slide introducing about his work wedding kit. So maybe just use that one. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if there's any other. I think. Wait, just give me 1 sec. Thanks. And what trigger?
XT Pro 1.
XT Pro. Yep. XT1, right? Or X Pro?
Pro.
X Pro, yep. See, people are already asking for your workshop, man. Master Key. I would love to attend too. All right, thank you guys for your time, and thank you, Master Key, for your precious time. Your lasagna and tiramisu is waiting, and your wife is calling. So thank you guys. Thank you, Key, for your time. Have a good evening. Have a good night, guys. Bye.